Yeah, no. Yeah, how you doing? Sorry, you're kind of here right
Hello. Oh, I have to turn a little.
Was in Washington, I worked on the
Hello. 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 Okay. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I think everyone is here because we all love Booker, and we want to just be able to share some stories and just be here because we're hoping that you all can comfort each other in the loss of Booker and celebrate the life and everything that he gave to us when he was here. Would anyone want to come and share a good memory of Booker? I'm Rachel. I'm Booker's niece, and so yes, if anyone wants to come in,
you can also bring the microphone.
or we can bring the microphone to you if you would like to share a story of Booker.
Who wants to go first?
All right, thank you.
Hello. Sorry, I talk a little loud and a little quiet at times. So, thank you guys for coming out. Obviously, this was a little bit on the more unexpected side of things, but I do want to say there's a lot of love in here. He loved all you guys more than ever. He was a very tough person to love at times. Stubborn as all hell, but I'll tell you what, he loved harder than anybody. Little tough to show it, and then other times he was kissing his best buddies on the lips for some weird reason. I would like to say is he told many stories about many of you guys, and that was one of my favorite things. We'd be in the truck, leaving games, going to games, going anywhere, and it'd be great loving stories or him getting in trouble with George Schmidt over there. Yeah, the amount of times I've heard George Schmidt getting me into trouble is crazy. But there's so many things to say about him, but it's hard to kind of narrow down. But right now, there's only one story that's really coming to mind. Grandma Lana told me this story. He was, man, I would like to say he was probably about 6 or 7. And someone on the farm told him that the story about the chickens running around like chickens with their head cut off, right? And never understood that saying. And that someone told him, he was like, yeah, if you cut the chicken's head off, it'll keep on running. Well, he begged and begged and begged Grandma Lana to cut the chicken's head off because he wanted to see it run. Grandma Lana said, no, 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 no. And after 2 weeks of being persistent, stubborn, and he wanted to figure out if this is true, Grandma Lana said, fine, it's great, go. Well, she's watching through the kitchen window, and he goes out there and finds this chicken, and he cuts the chicken's head off, and the chicken just falls over. And Grandma Lana says, like, she was just watching me, staring down a few seconds, and then he kicks the chicken and goes, get up, you stupid chicken, and run. but um, but other than him being funny and stubborn, there's a lot of not only just people that are here, but people that are friends of mine and teammates of mine, or perhaps sometimes I walk in the stores and they'll recognize me and say that I'm Booker's son. It's crazy how people come out of the woodworks and still know him. Like, so many people that I was making calls to when we got the news and all that kind of stuff. And I swear, if we're still on those like data plans of gigabytes and stuff, my phone bill would be out of the roof. But he was very kind and generous, and if there was something that he was trying to explain to someone, he would try to figure out a different way to explain it to you. And then once you said you got it, and then you messed up, you'd try to find out another way to explain it, and then another way to explain it. And he was probably the best person at explaining things. Um, and sorry, guys, I just don't know where I'm going with this. But I, I just would like to say is that he was a great father, a great friend, and um, he would protect anyone inside of this room. He would die for you guys. If you guys ever had a problem, he was there. Didn't matter if he was 4 hours away or whatever he was doing, he'd drop in and go help you. But I do want to say is that appreciate all you guys coming out. Really shows the love, and may his spirit live on with everybody. So thank you.
Hi, I am Booker's niece. He always made me feel like I was his favorite. He had the best hugs. Like he would just hug you like a bear and just best hugs. And just like Quinn said, you always knew that if you needed him, he'd show up. He'd be there for you. I'm really grateful to have him as an uncle.
All right, be brave, guys. Come on. I'll bring the microphone to you. I'm Raina. I'm Booker's niece. I don't really have a specific story about Booker. My favorite things were when he gave you a hug. He was always around. I really appreciated what he said when my grandma Lana, his mother, went to be with Jesus. He said that we were family, and even if we didn't hang around all the time, that if we needed each other, we could call on each other and we'd be there no matter what. And so that's my plan, is to be that, as Booker said, going forward, that we're family. And some of you I don't even know who you are, but if you need anything, I'll give you my number and I'll be there. Because that's what he gave to me, and I really appreciated it. I told my mom just recently, how dare he get to go to heaven before all of you being the youngest. But he was one to kind of do it his way. It was a real blessing to know him and to have that strong person in your life. Who's next?
Microphone down.
She's loud enough.
So, I'm Carol. Used to be Whitman, now Dawn Howard. Booker was a year below me, but we were all kind of raised in the same area. And there was kind of a 3-person group that was always together. It was Booker, Eddie, and George. Well, Eddie missed out on this trip. And I happened to have Mom's car. Now, understand you, car. It was a Dodge Aspen, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. It was a 4-door sedan car. And Booker says, "Hey, Carol, let's go. We're gonna go adventuring right now." Okay. George is like, "Yeah, hey, Booker, I know some roads." Okay. So off we go out of Newburgh, kind of up Rex Hill a little bit. And we go off on one road, and we go off on another road. And Booker's like, "It's okay, Carol. It's okay. Just keep going. George knows where we're going." No, we never got stuck, but it was a little rough on the underside of the car. And I ended up with a nickname that was quite interesting. I ended up being called Goat Trail Mama, because that was basically what we were on, was goat trails.
Oh dear.
But Booker was always like, "It's okay, hey, it's all right. We're gonna make it through this," And Booker was always one of those ones that if I was having problems or just needed somebody to say, "It's okay, I'll give you a hug. We'll be okay. It's okay. Yeah, everybody's picking on you. It's okay."
Yeah.
And he would give you a hug, and it was like, "Hey, life's better now. It's all good. It's all good." So anytime you saw him, it was always a big hug, and it was like a big teddy bear saying, "Hello, I'm gonna give you a big hug like a rag doll," But you always knew that it was with so much passion and everything that it was what you looked forward to when you saw Booker. So he'll be missed.
Turn it back.
I am Jim. I'm the brother-in-law that came into the family right off the bat. I married Darcy, and Darcy wanted me to share something with you guys. Um, it says here, Booker was my brother. No, this is Darcy talking. You are. He was just born, and at the time Booker was born, Darcy would be 6 years old. Okay, and then she says that my sisters would be Dana and Debbie. They were all excited to have a little brother, and they would hold him, they would haul him around like he was our baby. So that was them growing up. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a poor kid, The poor Booker had 3 sisters that were hauling him around. I bet you they played dollhouses with him too. And then when he was about 3 or 4 years old, every time Lana and Marvin would leave for town, he would be crying at the window, holding the curtains and looking out and screaming for his mom to come home, because he was stuck with his 3 sisters. And Lark. Anyways, and then until the mom came home and he talked about him. Didn't work. Okay, many sisters. Okay, growing up. Oh, here's another thought she had. Growing up, when they went to church or they went to the coast, they had a song that they would sing songs in the car. And one of the songs that she remembers is "He's Alive," and they would sing this song, "He's Alive," but Booker changed some of the lyrics. And in the song book here, I got it written down so I don't screw it up.
You're gonna sing
You
it
know,
back?
he talks about this song is he's alive, and it talks about Jesus. And then at this one verse, he says, He talks with me, but Booker changed it. He talks with me until I scared him away." And Grandma Lana asked, "What are you singing? That he's scaring him away?" That's just the way he did it. And then he lives, he lives, he lives. And Booker, I know, was saved when he was younger. They used to go to Knox's church a lot. And as far as I know, there's no expiration on your salvation. So, so you have a guy that there's people all over this room that when you would call him up, he would be right there to want to help you or just encourage you along the way. And for myself, I had I we were married in 1980, so that put Booker at 15 or 16 years old. And Grandma Lana and Marvin were having a turkey dinner in Lafayette for the homeless. And Booker came to me and he said, "Jim, you got to help me out. There's this big guy outside. He wants to beat me up." So Booker knew how to get reinforcements. So him and I went out there, and sure enough, this guy was a big sucker. And I just told him to take a hike, or he's going to get thumped. So that's the way Booker was. As he got older, he became the enforcer. So that was one of my stories that I have about him. And then another one I had, I was doing a job one time. I was servicing this dock leveler, and it had a hydraulic pump on it and all that. And I had adjusted it, and I screwed it up big time, and all the parts came flying out. I thought, oh crap. So I called up Booker, and he walked me through putting it back together again. And in Christmas Valley, and on the farm, it was like learning curves. Him and I, we did stuff on the farm that we had to guard the haystack because people were owed money and they had to wait to get their money, and I had to actually have a shotgun there and tell these guys you can't have that hay. And then another thing that happened, Booker, he was underage when he was driving semi truck. He wasn't even 18 yet, 18 or 19. So Grandma Lana and Marvin came to me. There ain't no cops in here, is there? Anyways. Yeah, that's right. So Booker went ahead and took the semi truck driving test, but my picture, my name got on that driver's license, and then he was legal to go drive interstate. And then one time, technically, yeah.
We did get in trouble for it.
So luckily, he lost the license because Gaston cops called us up, and I get this ticket in the mail. It said that I was lipping off to some cop or something. And so so I go ahead and go into the courthouse with Marvin and Lana, And the cop, the arresting officer, or the guy that gave the ticket, looks at me and says, "I've never seen that guy in my life." It was Booker, but he wasn't there. So luckily he was water skiing in Hague Lake, and it's on the bottom of Hague Lake. He lost his wallet. So if you want it, it's in the bottom of Hague Lake. But so then I started driving truck, and I never did take the test. So and it was because of Booker. Okay. So so you could always call him up when you needed help. He was there. Just about a day or two before he died, his best friend died, and I was just talking to him, and then this happened. So we went up to see him, and we ended up praying over him, and we felt like we were wrestling for his salvation, because in Jude it talks about pulling him out of the fire, and I really feel he's up in heaven right now, and he's in a better place, and he's okay. He's up there with Lana. He's up there with Morgan and a couple of the other family members. So, anyways, thanks. I'm talking too much, so it's all you guys. Who's ever next? Got more to.
Turn that microphone off and I'll hear whoever wants to talk. It's scary anyway.
The microphone. I don't know. Can you hear me? This is a little out of character for me. I'm not a get up in front and talk, but Booker was too good a friend not to say anything. Um, excuse me. I'm putting up a greenhouse in my backyard right now, and when I bought the greenhouse, it was put up, and I was on the phone with Booker and just mentioned, "Hey, I'm going to be in somewhere in Eastern Washington, and I bought a greenhouse. I'm taking it apart on Saturday or something." And, "Oh yeah, well that's about driving distance for me." So Booker shows up at like 8 in the morning and helps us take the whole thing down. And you know, it it took us a while to start putting it back up, and just the whole process. I've thank God for Booker, because I see his handwriting in the little paint pen where he numbered every freaking part when he took it apart. And left front one, left front two, left front three, and anything I've ever worked on with Booker, a car, or anything, that paint pen comes out and I can see it's like tracks. But I didn't ask Booker to come help. Booker just saw an opportunity to help and stepped up and jumped in and helped. And I don't know. Booker showed me what friendship meant, among some other people, but yeah, in the end, Booker was a great friend. He looked for ways to help the people that he loved, and I benefited from that a lot. That's all I got.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah. I was the married in daughter. I'm Merle's daughter, and I'm his daughter as well. Hi George. Anyone remember the yellow truck? He taught me to drive in that truck. I was 10. I think that's cool. I mean, we should do that still today. When my mom met him, he lived out on CUNY Road in the little single wide. That thing gave me a lot of trauma. That house rocked and rolled when the wind came, and when the rain came, it moved. But I grew up there. And I was able to drive the yellow truck back and forth. He would repo. I don't know where Tim Casey is. Is he in here? But I remember he used to repo. Go late at night and then come home. Mom, where's he going? He's going to do something with some semis, which was really weird to me. And big semis would roll in. Taught me to golf out in that road, out in that yard. Tim or the Caseys didn't really care. Cuneys didn't care. Golf balls were out there. He taught me everything, actually. You know, and today it's a lot of my traits, my behaviors come from him. You know, and I was just married in, and when he married my mom, you know, I got married in with that. And so, you know, it was my mom and him, and then they had me walk down the aisle, and I stood there while they got married as well. And it was a big thing for me. I didn't understand. He gave me this pearl ring. I remember at school playing wall ball on accident, and the pearl came out, and I couldn't find it, so we put a reward up on the wall if anyone could find it. But at the same time, there was like this tree that had all these little white things that would fall that looked exactly like pearls. One day, I'm telling you, there was like 2,000 pearls. I found that one on the floor. I had to take down there. I found that pearl, and I ran home, and I was so excited because how the hell did I find that one out of all of them? My dad wasn't really, I mean, my dad was there, but I was with Booker all the time. It was me and him, sports, weekend, pick me up, tournaments. He taught me responsible. He made me go buck hay when I was doing wrong. My daughter will buck hay and I don't know who has the hay. She will though, because it was actually it's such a good, I don't even know what the word, it was good. It was smart to do. Teaches you a little bit, be strong, push through. You needed someone to save your ass? Yeah, you call Booker. I'll tell you one thing. Whatever your dad says is wrong, and my dad was right. Booker was always right with whatever he said. And advice, I'd call him immediately. I remember leading off bases, and he'd go, dig, dig, dig. Move your hips. Yeah, there's just so many things that like throughout my life that he taught me. The move, like I remember Quinn. Remember when Quinn was coming, and I was talking to him the other day. I took a picture. I got a sage plant. I remember me and Booker picked out Sage for the middle name. I loved that name. I remember the night Quinn came. I said, "Just get the bag and go." And we went to the hospital. And you know what? He was such a safety person. I couldn't be in the room, and he was such a safety person. I knew my mom was safe. And let me cut the umbilical cord. You. Yep. It's like I don't even know, but no one even does that today. They're like, what? He taught me how to be tough. I remember one time I got hit in the face softball. It took me to the ER and he made me come back and finish the game. I had like these black lips. Both my lips were super black. Yeah. I mean, I have so many stories, and then I talk to you want to make sure you do this right or wrong. There's no right or wrong, but there's you don't want to miss anything, right? Big Fest. Lots of family there, every single year we did that. And if no one has any stories and they're scared to get up, I mean, I'll just sit here and keep thinking about more and more things. Because I remember then when we moved into a newer home, and it was like we got that duplex and it was nicer than the one we had before, and he had worked for that. I think he was working at Pride Disposal at the time. He saved your ass. He beat your ass too. Sorry about that, Lord, forgive me. I'm sorry, but
It has to do with my story because I grew up with Quinn. I think you already know what I'm about to say. And this is the memory that sticks with me for Booker is we were on the trampoline and the neighbors were throwing a party, getting drunk next door, and Quinn and I were jumping on the trampoline, throwing fruit snacks at the neighbors while we were drunk. And one of them saw us while we were throwing them, and so he came around the block and came and pounded on Booker's door. And Booker calls us down. We were already upstairs, and he continued to scream at us, cuss at us, and make us do push-ups. I think he said 100 push-ups is what we did. And Quinn and I could barely stop laughing, which made him even more mad. And he came up that day with the phrase "going all Booker" on you.
He made you do push-ups for money at Abby's too to go do the stuff. Ella does the push-ups now for $1 too. She has to do 10 of them for $1. So, a lot of. But then he taught me how to do push-ups the correct way. He taught me how to do everything. No, you do not get to do them on your knees. And what is that? That is not a push-up, But I remember going to your house, George. I remember going. I do. I remember Eddie. I remember. I guys love you guys. There's so many memories and so many. The hug. Can I tell you the one thing that I felt? I got that hug after he passed. I felt that hug come. That big freaking bear hug of warmth and protection and
Giant mitts on her back.
Yeah.
He's always so gentle.
Oh, but no. And then I remember when he got kicked out. He got keyed out. What was it? He couldn't coach. They're like, get out of here. You can't do it anymore. There was those times too, I think I get that spiciness from him too sometimes,
The whole coaching thing. When I was younger, Booker would come to my football games. He told me that all those pads and helmets and stuff you're wearing out there, those are weapons. You got to use all the resources that you're on that football field. You always hear him on the sideline.
Oh my goodness.
Everything.
Oh my God.
What to do on each play.
I didn't know. Yeah, the coach. Yeah, he was the coach of everything. And even if there was another coach and he was the assistant, you heard him over the other coach as well. But yeah, I just remember like dig when I'd run around bases. And he just knew that I was going to make it every single time. That I was going to slide out right underneath you. And I knew it made him proud, whether or not he said it. And there was always a good with a bad after a game. And we always had to talk about it. I'll tell you also, and then someone needs to speak up because I can just keep going, with schoolwork. He sat down and did all the schoolwork with me. My mom couldn't do it. He sat down. He said, your brain's getting maxed. Let's take a break. He literally knew. Zach, I don't know if he just knew how to do everything with me. My body hurt. He fixed it. My hips hurt for practice, this and that. You need to go and do this. He definitely, taught me, I really can say he taught me everything. Feel bad saying that, but my mom and my dad, but he did. I'm a lot like him, and I'm grateful. I wish I wasn't so assertive and direct sometimes and blunt, but that's me.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I know we all love him. I do. I love him, and I wish I could have seen him a little bit more before all this happened. But I'm still here to share good stories. I hope someone else has some stories to share, and if I think of more, then I'll speak up and say more.
The thing I remember the most growing up with Booker is he always had a crew with him. At the farm, he never did anything alone. Boss over all of his little cronies.
It didn't matter whose house it was. It was always the boss.
He never did anything alone. He always had a crew with him. Most of the time, he did most of the hard labor. He was a natural boss.
If you guys just want to tell stories at your own table, that's fine too. But if you guys just want to get together, tell stories together, love on each other.
Don't be afraid to talk to each other. It's all good. Everybody's here to meet everybody.
Hey, lady. How are you? A little late. Celebrate.
I mean, you know, he would probably be okay with that. It's been get things out of the way.
For me, like one night, he was just like, "Oh, I miss you." And I was like, "You're alive." Because I didn't know, like, I hadn't talked to him. So he's probably it's great.
Well, he just doesn't work. So, I mean, I think he's doing well enough, but like, he came to Bride's like 40th party. He actually looked really good. But I'd seen him a few months
She's like,
before.
"Oh, yeah." Oh, shit.
So Nancy drives most places.
She's doing okay though?
Yeah, she's really good.
Very good guy. And I literally got tipsy and I had his number my whole life. I just said my left on the pad and I was too scared to talk to him. He put me in my position. I finally had to send out a message to let you know right now you're like your father's. We actually